On this episode of the John1911 Podcast, UK sniper suffers horrible accident. Century to import the PSL rifle. Crazy people are crazy, and Rick Pitino's stripper joke.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is Marky and Freeze, and this is episode 105 of the John1911 Podcast. How's it going, Freeze?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You're off this week, right?
Yeah, I'm off, and I'm just farting around the house, doing some stuff, doing some organization, basically just trying to get stuff in order. I've just crap I've been putting off for a long time. You know how it is.
I know how it is. That's kind of what I'm doing today as well, but it's all vehicle and range stuff. So just drop off one of the four-wheelers to a service center, and because it needs a complete service. It's been living a rough life this year outside for range construction, and then I'm heading to a meeting to go buy a shipping container.
Outstanding.
So we need one desperately.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Hey, I've got the General is in a adjacent farm barn, and it's a cluster getting it out in and out of there. It's crazy tight, because half this farm is locked up, and the owner is very old, and so they're like, you can leave it here all winter if you want. I'm like, no, that's not. It's maybe a month. Just give me a few weeks until we can get some, facilities in, and because I don't need guys going over there to try to get vehicles off their property and then bring them all the way over to our property, and the Lord knows, they'd end up climbing up on the roofs of these barns trying to shoot at targets on our property. It would be bad.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, one of them would be like, "Hey, do you think we can see that 600-yard target from here? Let's see how far it is."
Yeah, someone would try that.
Yeah, so somebody would. Speaking of somebody would try that, you and I were just talking off pod real quick to get ready, and there was a story that had circulated very briefly out of the UK. A British soldier, I guess he was a sniper, had a negligent discharge with a .338 Lapua rifle, and it is going to be a closed casket funeral.
You think?
Yeah, because you were telling me, tell the listeners what you were telling me what happened here.
So this guy is, they're training, and apparently at this training facility in the UK, one of the big controversies after this guy killed himself unintentionally is apparently they just don't really have any range rules. It's either all snipers, they're all experienced, they know what they're doing, so it's kind of like the good old boy thing. No real ROs. And apparently this guy had, it's probably an Accuracy International, I don't know for a fact, but that's usually what most of these guys are using. And
usually.
Is in .338 Lapua, had a can on the end of it, and he's resting the buttstock on his boot, and he's resting his chin on the end of the suppressor. Well, apparently the gun was unloaded, but it wasn't cleared. There was a round in the chamber. Trigger got snagged on something, a piece of gear, I don't know, a twig, a branch, a honey badger, who knows. And the gun goes off, and bam, guy's got no fucking head.
Yeah, that is a extreme evacuation. Just the gas alone from a .338. If you put your head on the can,
that turned you into a freaking watermelon, man. I mean, your head would pop with just the gases.
Yeah, it would be, but with that projectile going through, it's probably it may have left a stump of the spinal cord. I mean, that's bad. And you know what? Look, it's one of those things. I'm going to tread lightly here because some of this is Hollywood. And what it is, there's that movie, was it Black Hawk Down, where the guy is in the chow hall, and see, every kid knows this movie. And I guess
never seen it.
Some like, Delta guys versus the regular Army guys, and they're in a chow hall together, and the Delta guys have weapons on them, and apparently guy's got a weapon slung across his body, loaded with the safety off. And, the sergeant is like, the fuck? And the guy is like, holds up his trigger finger, and it's a real dramatic scene in the movie. This is my safety.
Oh, fuck. Is that where that comes from?
That is where you see, that's the thing. There's an ambulance passing me by. Hold on.
I see that shit on the internet all the time. I never knew where it come from because I've never seen the movie.
It's that stupid ass scene from that movie. And it's an example of, even if it's true, it's so retarded. It's so retarded that, because what it is everybody wants to be a cool guy. And so they take stuff like that and they go, well, I'm going to be a cool guy and and start violating these rules because I'm cool. And, it's just, oh man, now the other side of the argument is, again, because all the range Nazis and all the safety Sallies and all the gotcha kids on the internet, they're all going to come at it from the other end, and they're going to want to whack this guy. But what they also don't understand is, they don't understand that when, again, I don't know the situation with the sniper, you know more about than I do. He wasn't deployed, but when you're out for days or weeks in some situations, you can be exhausted. And a lot of civilians don't really appreciate what it's like to be around a bunch of guys who are dead fucking tired. Like, I don't mean like, oh man, it's been a long day. I mean, like, some guys haven't had any sleep. They've got weapons that are loaded and shit happens.
Yeah. The average person, I mean, everyone's around someone that's tired. Oh, I didn't get any sleep, or I've been up for 24 hours. But the average person around there really has never been around anyone with sleep deprivation.
Yeah. And that's part of the thing. Like, what was it? What gun was it? I was talking to a guy. He was a very high ranking officer at the 75th Ranger Regiment. It was one of these weapons that had been proposed, for as a service rifle. And it had I don't know if it had a bolt release or if it had a safety or both of them inside the trigger guard. And he's looking at that and he goes, this is an example of some guy who's working in some military program because he's a staff officer who's never actually been in an infantry unit or actually had any billets that are relative to this. And they get some idea in their head that, oh, look, this is the good idea fairy. We can unlock the bolt faster and engage quicker, or we can activate the safety faster, deactivate it faster, and engage quicker. And he's like, these guys have no concept of what it's like to be dead ass fucking tired. You've been up for 3 days straight and everybody's trying to load onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
He goes, he says, that's a rest. He said, that came before them. And they immediately were like, nope, that's retarded. They're like, nope. I mean, we understand it works great when you guys are all testing it and everybody's got timers out. And, it's like on the internet, like all these kids are like how badass they are. But it's like, you don't ever see a YouTube channel with some guy who's been up for 3 days trying to run his gun.
No, because everyone who has a YouTube channel wants the best video out there. They want Captain Kirk. They want the guy doing the barrel rolls and the cartwheels and the handstands and drawing 15 different guns out of 14 different holsters and, drilling all the targets in steel. And it looks cool.
Having sex with every green-skinned girl in the galaxy? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You said Captain Kirk.
And then every paintball and airsoft guy goes out there and goes, oh, fuck, I do that every weekend. That's what the YouTubers want.
So,
the
the only lesson from this story with this guy is I don't care how special you are or how tier 1 you are, you ain't that special. And see, the thing is, really good people every year, really good people, irreplaceable people that you're like, we could never replace this guy because the experience and the skill and the ability, some of the best people die in some of the dumbest ways. And it's just the laws of nature.
Hey,
and,
Chris Kyle was shot in the back.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
Yep. I mean, it happens.
Somebody's going to be like, but, not military, but, civilian, but. You know what? There's always a but.
Yeah.
It's always.
Yeah.
Everybody's got, that's when the excuses come out. And, shit just happens. And it's a sad situation. And the really, really bad one is, I mean, can you just imagine what this looked like when this kid, oh my God. This must have looked like something from out of a Hollywood movie, what it must have done there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy's family.
Yeah, no, you just know it was nasty.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, was it indoors or outdoor? Oh. Yeah. So, it's one of those things. So it kind of made the news because everybody's all hooting and hollering about it. Everybody's using it to push their own agenda. And it's just like, all I can say, every time I see something like that, all I do is I say a little prayer and I go, please, God, Jesus. But for the grace of God, there goes I. I'm going to resolve to be a little bit better than I was yesterday, because don't ever think you're special, Marky, because you ain't special.
Well, a lot of guys don't like to shoot at public ranges with ROs because ROs can be a big pain in the ass, and I'll be the first to admit that. But they're a pain in the ass for a reason, because for every experienced shooter at a public range, there's 100 chodes out there. And if you don't have an RO sitting there, overlooking everything, well, again, I've said this before. Every time you go to a public shooting range that's got a corrugated metal roof, look up. All those holes that lets the rain drip through is why they have an RO.
And you know what? This guy, if he was under roof, he put a hole in the roof.
Oh yeah, he did. Big freaking hole in the roof.
That's why I'm thinking even remotely partially enclosed. Oh, dude, it's a hazmat. I mean, I don't think people understand like how much liquid and mass is in somebody's head. And then you introduce just the gas from a 338 Lapua. Oh my God! I mean, it's like, imagine the biggest water balloon you could imagine, and then pack it with the power of a bunch of M80s. I mean, it would use red Kool-Aid. It would be everywhere.
Oh, there was nothing left. I mean, he was a headless corpse.
But all that shit went somewhere, and it went all over everybody.
Oh, it's spraying
everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
everywhere.
And if he was wearing a lid, that just made it worse.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, because didn't you tell me in all the video games, all the snipers, they wear baseball hats backwards?
Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't play.
Well,
there's only one video game I play twice a year, and I think it's called World of Tanks. So
yeah, well, this guy was British, so you never know.
You never know. Hey, let's talk about something positive. Did you see that the Century is going to be bringing in more Romanian PSLs?
I did see that.
Oh, man.
I did not see a price on them, though.
Oh, they haven't. Well, I guess that begs the question. So if Century's going to, quote, bring them in, does that really mean they're already here? They just haven't, they're in the Century warehouse?
50-50. Maybe they're here. or maybe they're in a warehouse somewhere out of the country waiting to be cleared and brought in.
Yeah.
Or
in a bonded warehouse in the U.S.
But if that's the case, they're close, because they wouldn't make an announcement if it was like, well, it's going to be another year, you know. So if they're not in the country, they're real close.
They're close. Well, that's interesting. So I'm not I've seen. See, this is the thing. I need your help here. So with these Russian non-standard guns, okay. So I know the cool kids in the U.S., the collectors. They don't think a lot of the PSL, and I think is it the Cougar, Cuiger, Cuigr or Ger, but there's a compared to the Dragunov, the Dragunov.
Yeah, it looks like the Dragunov, but basically, the PSL is just a hopped up AK.
Okay.
It
is
different. I mean, you know, but with that being said, it's a damn fine rifle.
Well, let me ask you this question, because, you know, we do not have a non-standard semi-automatic sniper rifle in the reference collection at all, because it's really an unusual gun for kind of what we try to do. But I've seen on the secondary market some Russian snipers brought into the country for the U.S. market in 308. If we're given an option in 7.62 by 54R or 308, what do we do? 54R?
54R. Yeah, that's what it was designed for. But look, there's not going to be a 308 option on this. It's going to be a 54 option. If it's a 308 option, it's going to be someone here in the United States like Century converting it to 308. And I don't even really want to get into that mess.
Okay. I've seen some, I don't know if it was PSLs or whatever they are, but I've seen some of these semi-automatic guns. I believe they were made in 308 for the U.S. market years ago by the original factory overseas. I don't know. I'm not really qualified to even talk about it. I just wondered, it's like, do you think these are something that Century scooped up and they're bringing in, or you think maybe it's something they contracted for? And so here's the other reason I'm asking that is this, because we have the rifle, the new rifle range now.
Yeah.
Where do we get quality 54R ammo?
Where right now, what quality, inexpensive match grade ammo are we shooting? Give me a brand name.
I guess the best would be PPU.
Exactly, and that's where you get it. PPU sells match grade 54R ammo.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay. We have really good luck with PPU ammo.
Hey man, PPU makes, they make everything. I mean, they really
do.
I mean, they even make 7.62 Nagant. Who the hell makes that?
Well, I mean, they probably make it, they probably make it in a run once or twice a year. But
it doesn't matter. They still have it available, though, which, what the hell?
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. So I don't know. That's kind of a.
As a matter of fact, I think you have it in the armory. There's a couple boxes of 54R soft tip hunting ammo. That's PPU.
Yeah, I do. Yes, we do have some in the armory. Some hunting ammo. That was for your gun. I'm not. There's so much ammo. I have no idea. I'm trying to get by over here. Okay, that's interesting. So, well, here's the thing. What do you think these PSLs will go for? Do you think they'll be less money than? Because I think the current market for PSLs is $1,600 to $1,900. Maybe.
I have in my head. I have in my head right now, like $1,400 to $1,600. That's
all right.
That's kind
interesting.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. Whether I'm right or not, I have no freaking clue.
Okay. I mean, $1,600 if we can get one of those PSL and it's brand new, and maybe we can spec it out. Like if it comes with some, I don't know, like maybe it comes with optics or something. I mean, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's I like that. That's good news. So I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, you're speculating on price, but we'll have to see how it goes. So,
yep.
This is getting kind of to be an old story. I mean, I feel bad saying that for the people in California, but for the rest of the country, it is. All those fires that were going on out in California, they're having all these horrible fires out there in California. It's fire season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess one of them is it's a huge, some record-breaking fire. And there's a guy who they've arrested him, and supposedly he set the fire, and you can tell the guy is just nuts. And I think it's interesting. The reason I bring it up is because we always have, man accused of setting the holy fire lashes out lashes out in court. And Forrest Gordon Clark, 51, was due to be arraigned in Orange County, for felony, all this other stuff. So at one point they tried to arrest him. He stripped naked. So here's the interesting part about this. Like all the people, I guess the fire started near his home. All the people around and wherever he lived, he had some cabin somewhere. He apparently was known as like the neighborhood lunatic, and everybody was scared shitless of him. But it's interesting because if this guy had walked into Google or YouTube or some school and shot up the place, we'd all be talking about gun control, and we should be talking about crazy control. Well, this guy basically has, nuked some forest there in California. He's obviously insane. He's been insane forever. And it's like, nobody wants to talk about this. Why was this dude even walking?
Of course they don't want to talk about it because, and we've talked about this many, many, many times before, we have an insane problem here in the United States. We have an issue where we have no place to lock up these people that need to be locked up. And let's face it, unlike the two millennial vegan / vegetarian douchebags that we're going to talk about in a minute, in this world, not everyone is good. Some people are just assholes. Some people are just insane. Some people have no business walking around in normal society. And until we decide to address the real issues in this country and find the resources to lock these pieces of shit up, these things are going to happen. All these kids that are going out there and doing stuff, all these crazy adults that are doing stuff. I mean, they need to go away. And what do? You can put them in prison. I mean, prisons are chock full as it is, but
we used to have mental health facilities where you could send people. But now, basically, it's everybody's roaming free until they catch a felony.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, this guy will go away. But in the meantime, they could have saved millions of acres of forest and probably billions of dollars in property damage. And who knows if anyone dies over this. If they would have just locked his sorry, crazy ass up years ago in an institution.
Or had him on some kind of community control where he, once a week, they make contact with him, they put him on medication, they monitor, I mean, again, it's this story, it's an international story and all this hoo-ha going on with it, but it's really interesting because nobody wants to talk about we should have fire control. Or maybe we should have people living in forests, or maybe we shouldn't have all these different things. But the problem is this dude is crazy. Now, it was interesting because when they went to get him, like there was media, the media knew he did it. Like the media were showing up and talking to him, and he's giving interviews. And so, of course, he's crazy. So I can't remember what it was he was talking about. Like, I don't know, like fake moon landings or Martians or something with Alex Jones or some kind of crazy shit. So they literally, one of those media outlets out west even ran a headline that tried to hook him in, like Trump supporter or right winger sets forest on fire.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I just heard this morning on the news that the news media is already trying to tie in how great the economy's going to giving Barack Obama credit for it.
Yeah. I mean, that was always going to be the case. They were always going to do that.
We're getting close to November, and they're pimping that line, so yeah, of course they're going to try to tie him in, hell, the San Bernardino, they tried to tie that dude into, as a right wing NRA lunatic, and he's a freaking Muslim.
Crazy. Well, you know what? Look, you hinted around. Do you want to talk about the bikers? The bicyclists, not bikers.
Dude, I so do. You want to talk about these guys.
So let me give a name here. So I assume it's a boyfriend, girlfriend.
That's what I got out of it.
Jay Austin and Lauren, I'd say Gegan.
Who cares?
Goggin? Probably
Goggin.
Okay, so let's be respectful. Jay Austin and Lauren Gagan, who were both in their late 20s last year, quit their office jobs in Washington, D.C. to embark on a journey. Austin, I didn't know this. That's why you made reference to it. Austin, a vegan who worked for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and Gagan, a vegetarian who worked in the Georgetown University admissions office, decided they were wasting their lives working. So, and here's a quote. I'm not going to, if you listeners may not know what happened to these people. So here's a quote from one of them. Quote, "Evil is a make-believe concept we've invented to deal with the complexities of fellow humans."
Yeah.
See, so here's what, hold on, let me say, but people don't know what happened yet. An idealistic young American couple was killed in an Islamic State claimed terrorist attack last month while on a cycling trip around the world.
So what these millennials tried to do is they decided that, we got some money saved up. Working kind of sucks because, what the hell's a work ethic these days? Fuck it. Let's go cycling all through Europe and wherever. This
apparently happened in Tajikistan.
Yeah. Well, they were cycling all through Europe and all down through there. And what they were doing is they were blogging about it the whole time because that's what millennials do.
Hey, now don't kick the bloggers too hard. That's what we're doing now, asswipe.
So, they're running around talking about, peace, love, dope, hippie this, hippie that.
Peace, love, dope. Okay.
Okay. What do you want to bet me that both these people smoked pot or else ate edible medical marijuana? You want to bet?
Nope.
One's a vegan, one's a vegetarian, and they're both liberal hippies. Yeah, I didn't think you wanted to bet on that. So, peace, love, dope.
Peace.
And that's a movie reference too, by the way. So they're riding around thinking, evil doesn't exist. It's all harmony and kumbaya, and let's link arms and get into a circle and jerk each other off, and all's going to be one with the world. And it's the evil politicians that do all this crap. And as they're riding around, these dudes ran them off the road in a truck. But I think like 4 of them or something like that, 4 or 5 of them jumped out and stabbed them to death. It was those 2 and a couple other Europeans, like a guy from Switzerland, and I think, I don't know, like a Norwegian dude or something like that they'd hooked up with. And anyway, all 4 of them died. But hey, the good news is they should know that in their death, they helped erase 4 carbon footprints off the face of the earth.
Yeah. So apparently ISIS released a after the attack, ISIS released a video claiming responsibility for the attack and saying that they're going to kill non-believers and, do all this stuff. And it's just like...
Sure, but I mean, they've been releasing videos like that forever. I mean, they all want to kill non-believers and whatever.
Yeah, but
they're not really evil. That's man-made.
Well, what happened was, when this initially happened, it was being portrayed as a car accident or some kind of freak accident where they got hit on this country road or something.
Well,
and then it was, well, they were stabbed, so it wasn't terrorism. It could have been a robbery, or maybe it was one of those road rage, bicycle rage things that happens when they all get pissed off at each other. And they're like, no. Then it was like, no. And then it was like, no. And finally, ISIS put out a video saying, yes. And it's just, God almighty. I mean, you know what? This is the kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is just like what happens when you see people that go and they want to pet the animals because of Disney.
Yeah.
It's seriously. I mean, it's like, like what was it? There was one not that long ago. A couple people were killed. I think they were Chinese tourists. They were killed by a hippo in Africa, which surprised people. I think hippos kill 500 people a year. Hippos kill more people than anything.
Oh, yeah. Hippos kill more people than lions, tigers, and bears. I mean, Jesus, they're nasty.
Yeah, and it's just like, I wouldn't, if I saw a hippo anywhere near me, like within hundreds of yards, I'd be like, nope. I'd be like, fuck no. I mean, if I wouldn't have a 500 Jeff goddamn gun to put it down, I don't want to be near them. They are assholes. And it's like, these tourists, they see these ideas in the media. Like, my favorite is like the giraffe. Oh God, giraffes, whatever. All these, because they majestic, tall, whatever. I challenge anybody, if you can find video of it, you should watch it. You should see what a giraffe does to a person when a giraffe attacks a person. When you go to a zoo and they let you feed the giraffes or pet the giraffe's nose, you always notice something. If you ever go visit a zoo, I don't care if you listen to this anywhere in the world, unless they don't know what they're doing, they always have the platform for the giraffe very elevated, just so the giraffe can just barely get his nose up into the top of the deck so you can maybe do some stuff. There's a reason for that. It's not because, they don't want the giraffe to have to bend down and work hard to get the carrots. A giraffe will take its head on its long-ass neck and swing that thing down. It'll launch people into the air like a kickball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually pretty impressive. I wouldn't want to be, like, if a giraffe was walking by me, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it.
Okay. You like to watch bullfighting videos. You love to see people getting gore.
I love bullfighting.
Okay. Now, a bull's neck, a big size bull, I don't know, you got maybe 2 feet of neck on there full of solid muscle. And you see how easy it is for a bull to flip a full grown man, 15 feet into the air, literally. Now,
Yeah.
the giraffe that's got like a 6 to an 8 foot neck filled with muscles. That's like swinging a golf club at your face.
Yeah. A giraffe can lift a person. This is no joke. A giraffe can swing its head and hit a person so hard, they'll go 15 feet into the air. And 15 feet is people like, oh, 15 feet doesn't seem. You see 15 feet in the air, that's pretty goddamn high. I mean, that's almost 2 stories.
Yep.
I guess it's just one of those things where Western media and Western, mythology wants people to believe things that simply are not true. Wild animals are wild. Wild people, uncivilized people are uncivilized.
Yep.
That's why I'm talking about ISIS versus in animals. It's not that different. Let's see here. What else was there we wanted to talk about? I was going to talk about the guy that got pissed off at his estranged wife and kids and flew the plane into his house. But
yeah, I saw the article. I didn't read it. Did the guy die?
I believe he died, but the picture is pretty amazing. It's like, what kind of crazy fuck do you have to be? Bitch, I'm going to get you.
I'm going to kill you. I don't know if it was his kid or her kid. But it's like, I'm going to crash my private plane into the house. And, actually, if you look at the picture, I'm amazed that the house held up as well as it did.
Yeah, it looks like the plane kind of bounced off the house.
And
yeah, so
I mean, I was actually pretty damn amazed.
Yeah.
But hey, again, crazy people.
Yeah. Hey, what we had taught, we always had a joke, that if we ever got a company plane, we would call it Private Show. Said that you were like, if we ever got a warbird, that'd be a cool name for a warbird. We get some hot what do they call it? What do they call those girls that they dress in very sexy manner, but like 40s?
I call 40s.
Stop. What do they call? I can't remember what they call that.
Yeah, they dress
girls.
It's like the burlesque thing type.
It's basically what it is. So, we could get like a burlesque dancer, put it on the side of a plane, and, we looked at the prices of the planes, and some of them are surprisingly not that expensive. And, we call it Private Show. Well, apparently we can't do that because apparently that's not politically correct. Do you know who Rick Pitino is? Do you even know who Rick Pitino is?
I do. Yeah.
So Rick Pitino, he's the former.
I mean, he's fairly local to me.
Yeah, he's the former coach of UK. I guess a basketball coach at UK. I think he coached in the NBA for a while. Then he was coaching at the University of Louisville, and gotta say Louisville too. You can't say Louisville. Louisville, and apparently there was a huge scandal where they were hiring hookers and strippers when they were recruiting high school athletes to join the team. So he apparently lost his job. Well, he is invested in a racehorse, and the racehorse won. It apparently won some race, and the racehorse's name is called Party Dancer. Of course, Rick Pitino's like, I had no idea.
Yeah,
the horse was.
I read the article, and he's just like, oh, well, I just bought into it, and the co-owner registered the name, and I didn't even know. Oh, and here's the thing. He's like, I didn't even know the name of the horse, and my co-owner didn't even know I was a coach, and blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you're not even lying well.
Yeah, okay, it's like no one recognizes the name Rick motherfucking Pitino in Kentucky.
Yeah, so a guy who gets a partner to buy a $250,000 racehorse Rick, well, what do you do for a living, Rick? Well, I don't do anything anymore. I'm retired now. Oh, okay. Bullshit. Everyone knows who this guy is. I'm not even into sports, and I know who this guy is. And
you know what? You go ahead.
And look, don't tell me that if you've got a $250,000 horse that you've got a stake in that's running, you go to the track, because he was there at the victory circle. When you go to the track, you're looking up your partner. Oh, by the way, what's the name of our horse again?
Well, let me go ahead. Let me make
the name is Strippers and Whores. Of course,
let me hold on now. Be nice to the hookers now. Hold on. So here's the thing: for a lot of people, may not realize. Okay, I don't know where the cultural homeland of NASCAR is, and I don't know where the cultural homeland of baseball is, or the cultural homeland of football, or the cultural homeland of basketball in this country is. But in the United States, if you're in the horse racing game, even if you don't fucking live there, the cultural homeland of horse racing in the U.S. is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Where Rick motherfucking Pitino was the most famous coach to come out of Kentucky since, I don't know, Daniel motherfucking Boone. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like, man, it's like, it would be so much better if he's like, yeah, my horse is named Party Dancer. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
Like,
why'd you name your horse Party Dancer? Well, I thought it would be a good joke since I got fired for, buying strippers and whores for my players.
Yeah.
I mean, why?
See, and this is, and look, I'm going to tie this in a way to the politics of today just to prove the point. Everybody knows what's going on here. I mean, look, you read these articles, they're all bullshit articles, and they got to have all these quotes from Rick Pitino. Then they got to explain, like, well, who the owner is and how much, and then they split the cost and where the horse was and where the horse won and how long has he had the horse and all this crazy bullshit that everybody's reading this, and they're like, why am I wasting my time with this? Where Donald Trump would be like, he would get that look on his face and go, yeah, I named it Party Dancer because I'm Donald Trump. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like everybody's so full of shit today. Nobody will admit to anything. It's like, the whole point.
Man, that just made me choke on my coffee.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of Rick Pitino naming his horse Party Dancer is ha, fuck you. So when the world figures out, ha, he's running the joke on us, he's got to be like, I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Knock, knock, who's there? Never mind. I mean, it's like, what the fuck does this even mean? I mean, that's what I find astounding about the story is that this is like such a, like if I was the editor of whatever newspaper and I had to write an article on this story, it would be about a paragraph. This is who owns it. This is the part. This is the name of the horse. And they're all lying.
Yeah.
And I would fill the rest of the page up with advertising and get paid. It's like, come on. I mean, come on. Yeah. Just stop.
Yeah.
It's funny. It would have been funnier if Rick Pitino was like, yep. Party Dancer. So apparently we can't do private show. You can't do Party Dancer for a horse, and you can't do private show. So you're going to have to come up with a new name. So like, Dirty D's and Dollars. I don't know. Like, what's the name? What are we going to call?
Hey, we can still call it private show. What the hell? Who cares?
You know what? Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, I wanted to call it strippers and whores, but you wouldn't do that. So
I don't think we can get that one by the FAA. So, but I think we can get private show. We can definitely get private show by the FAA. So. Hold on. How about two poles and a skank? Oh, sorry. So anyway, oh, by the way, I guess this is a little bit of house cleaning here. We're getting ready to start slowly reopening the store We're going to start selling some stuff online. We're working on it now. And in the old website, Technical T-shirts, we used to use a program called WooCommerce. And, WooCommerce is fine. It's an online, store, do whatever. Well, here's the thing. Everybody today is using like Shopify and Etsy, and there may be one or two other of these stores. And what it is instead of you having the software on your servers and you're adminning it and creating it and doing whatever, you basically, it's kind of like an iCloud type setup where you really just put your store in Shopify system. They run the back ends, keep it updated, features, and you just kind of cosmetically do some stuff, but all the heavy lifting in the back end is handled by Shopify, and that's become a real popular thing for a lot of online retailers
for obvious reasons.
Our programmer, he warned us, because I was like, dude, I'm thinking about switching to Shopify because we used to spend so much money keeping WooCommerce running, and I'll be damned if last week Shopify comes out and they have shut down. They've now come out and started shutting down. Let me look up the thing here. Shutting down stores that sell guns, gun parts, accoutrements. Let me see here. Shopify bans firearms and accessory sales.
Awesome.
Restricted means certain firearms, an automatic firearm that has not been rendered inoperable, semi-automatic magazines, 10 rounds, bump stocks, triggers. Here's the thing. I mean, it's entirely possible. What if we came up with a John 1911 trigger? We can't. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, no, we're out. Yeah. We're not. I mean, it's like, oh, we're back to this. I guess we'll just do WooCommerce.
Guess we're back to WooCommerce.
Yep. So we kind of made the decision. It happened almost in parallel. Like we were having these discussions with the programmer, and he was like, "I gotta warn you, you don't own the store." And he's not a gun guy. He doesn't really care about guns. He doesn't even follow the industry, but he kind of knows how we think, and he warned us. And just coincidentally, bam, this happened. So I just thought,
what happens if we start selling, John 1911 thong panties or John 1911 birth control pills? Are they going to stop us for selling that because they don't like our non-Christian values? It's no different than the not selling the guns and the gun accessory items. It's just from a different angle. I mean, when you get right down,
it's YouTube. It's YouTube all over again.
Yeah. So you get the people that aren't gun people go, you know what? It doesn't affect me, but ultimately it does because it never ends. I mean,
hey, have you ever heard of you know who Spike's Tactical is, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do.
You're big into the AR stuff. Apparently, Spike's Tactical, their entire online store is on Shopify.
I guess not anymore.
So they're apparently scrambling. And here's the thing too, they're claiming that like they're not even sure how they're going to migrate all of their customer data off of the Shopify account, which for me is a little scary. But this kind of loops back around to everything that's going around with YouTube. It's like, look, you and I, we could still open a Shopify store, and then we would have it for a couple years, and then something would happen, something would change, and we would be caught by the short hairs, just like all those people that have all of that content embedded from YouTube. And then YouTube's breaking all the links, and they're screwed.
Yep.
Like Ian McCollum, the guy from Forgotten Weapons, he is so screwed. He's had to hire like a third party company and basically give away a lot of his profits, his business model, to rebuild his website because, whereas you and I, we obviously we're not on his level. We're not even his business model. But we're not building. We haven't spent the past 3 years putting in code from companies that want to fuck us.
Yeah, exactly.
So no Shopify.
Yeah, well, sounds like a winner.
Sounds like a winner. All right. Anything else we need to talk about? Because I got to get the shipping container meeting here in a couple minutes.
No, I think we're, we can talk for hours, of course, but I think we've covered all the main data points.
Okay. All right. Well, this wraps up episode 105 of the John1911 Podcast. If you want to see some pictures or references of the stories we've discussed, go to our website, John1911.com, and we'll go ahead and have some screen grabs and links and stories in the comment section. And, go ahead and, you can always reach us there. And John1911.com never goes offline. So remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.
See you later.